Spence Terence Crawford, the rematch. Why it's more important than the original fight. What's good, everybody? It's your boy, Cardinal Red Sports. Let's talk about it. Alright, y'all. So, the rematch between Errol Spence Jr. and Terence Bud Crawford is slowly creeping our way. Hopefully, we're supposed to get it by December the 30th, before the end of this year. I just wanted to break down why this fight is more important than the original fight. Give my 1,000 nickels for anybody listening.
Terence Crawford dominated Errol Spence. With that said, Terence Crawford and Errol Spence are both going into the biggest fights of their careers. Now, for Terence Crawford, it's different than for Errol Spence. But for Errol Spence, the element of surprise is no longer there.
Alright, y'all, so why would I say that this fight is more important than the original fight? Well, I feel like this fight does a lot more on the line. In the original fight, the undisputed status was on the line. The winner took all the belts. In this fight, it's a little bit more confusing because even though they're talking about the fight taking place on December 30th, we're not even sure what weight class this fight is supposed to happen in yet.
Oh, God! Oh, my God! Oh, God!
On the Errol Spence side, they're saying 154. On the Terence Crawford side, they're saying 147. Now, all fingers seem to be pointing toward a 147 rematch, but I'm still hearing people saying that Errol Spence and his side are pushing for it to happen at 154. So as far as the weight goes, I'm extremely confused.
Pop, pop, pop! So tomorrow from 5 to 7, will you please act like you have more than a 2-word vocabulary?
But I'm leaning toward it happening at 147 because what Terence Crawford said sort of makes sense if you break it down the way that he said it. But outside of that, why is this fight more important than the original fight? There is a possibility that the winner could take on Jermell Charlo or Canelo Alvarez. So for the winner, it could be a big pile of money waiting for them if they can secure the victory versus their opponent on December the 30th.
When it's time to go, I'm working.
Now, I think it's a little bit different depending on who wins, because if Errol Spence wins, we're most likely going to see a trilogy, which means he could still fight Canelo or Charlo, but more than likely he's going to have to wait until after the trilogy is over with. And more than likely, whoever loses this fight, well, put it this way, if Canelo loses, then there'll most likely be a rematch. If Charlo loses, I doubt that there'll be a rematch, so it depends on who wins that fight, whether there's going to be a rematch between Canelo and Charlo. So there could actually be a waiting period. Even if Terence Crawford wins, he could still have to wait another 6-7 months before he actually gets to fight the winner of Canelo Charlo, depending on who wins.
Trash! You act like you back on that powder again, fam.
Now, once again, if Terence Crawford wins, there's the possibility of that fight with Canelo and Charlo. If Errol Spence wins, there's a possibility of a Canelo or Charlo fight. But he's going to have to go through that trilogy fight to get there. Not only that, if it's at 147, you have the belts on the line once again. And if it's at 154, it's pretty much for bragging rights. And who will get to face the winner of Canelo Charlo? Now, if Errol Spence wins, and I think this is where it gets real juicy, a lot of people are saying that Terence Crawford isn't the fighter that he's been hyped up to be, and if he gets beat by Errol Spence after everybody said that Errol Spence was done, and he got whooped, to the umpteenth degree.
Nice. Yeah, game over.
Then I think it's really going to have an effect on the rest of Terence Crawford's career because he's already having trouble selling well. If Errol Spence loses again, then I think it's going to have a real detriment on the rest of his career because he's already being chewed up Now, it's not saying that he can't salvage a little bit of his career and go fight some of the other fighters at 154 and, you know, move on and make a little bit of money before he retires. I just think his big market ability is going to be gone. His ability to sell fights, you know, to a huge crowd is going to be gone if he takes a second loss to Terence Crawford. So there is a lot more on the line in this fight when it comes to both of these guys' reputations, when it comes to their future, a potential Charlo or Canelo fight, when it comes to the possibility, we don't know yet, of the 147 belts being on the line again. There could be a huge amount on the line in this second fight. So a lot to look forward to. I'm hoping that Errol Spence is really taking this fight very seriously. He's locked all the way in. Not to say he wasn't for the first fight, but in the first fight, I think he was a little caught off guard, and that played a significant role in why he took that L. In the second fight, he's going to have to be locked in to secure that W, to get that dub for the big win, and to take down Terence Bud Crawford, give him his first loss.
I think it's going to be different. If it was the weight problem, I think it'd be different. Because he did look dry when he came out. His face was red. I never saw him like that before. And then I seen him get hit with a jab and buckle. No, that's not Spence.
Y'all let me know what y'all think about all that down in the comment section below. Hit that like button for me. Share. Subscribe. Holler at me on all social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter. But you're more than likely to get a response on the tube, so holler at me over there. If you want to collab or feature a product or your channel or my channel, feel free to hit my Gmail, because it is a flock of calls at Gmail.
Riding in the old school, switching lanes. G's in the hood trying to pitch the cane. I'm a young nigga trying to get the change. Niggas need money, long live the game. Real niggas getting money on the block, putting in work like they on the clock. See me in the hoods that's known to pop, chilling, waiting on my cell phone to stop. Ringing off the hook, now I need a new phone call. Hit her with some soft and she keep a nigga on hold. But y'all ain't the hard type. Y'all chicks acting like niggas, y'all die.
Late night outside where the G's be pitching. Got weed, got crack, we be selling these bitches. I'm trying to get that guap, so I'm all the way with it. I ain't bullshitting with you, watch me handle my business.
Don't sleep, just eat, nigga.
Handle your business.
Let the teeth go deep, mommy.
Handle your business.
Yeah.
I handle my business.
Get it in, move it out.
I'ma handle my business.
Now here's how it goes when I'm back in town. I walk up in the club with a black and mild. Grab a thick dame, turn that ass around. Tell her if you ain't no better, ask around. Not the number one fly nigga pound for pound. Let the clear disappear, then I down the brown. And you might see me rolling up, shotgun in the ride, and I'm rolling up. Then I'm blowing funk, then I'm posted up, standing next to a car with an open trunk. CDs for the 5, and you know we bump. Fully wheel on the track, then the stack greenback.
Late night outside where the G's be pitching. Got weed, got crack, we be selling these bitches. I'm trying to get that guap, so I'm all the way with it. I ain't bullshitting with you, watch me handle my business.
Don't sleep, just eat, nigga.
Handle your business.
No teeth, go deep, mommy.
Handle your business.
Yeah.
I handle my business.
Get it in, move it out.
I'ma handle my business.
I'm 965, no cruise control. Playing my own shit like dude is cold. A lot of niggas hustle then lose the dough. Be careful in the streets, you can lose your soul. I stay high, but I never use my nose. Live life like a blockbuster movie road. Niggas love me from Maine to Spain. I told y'all niggas I changed the game. It's Lucas Keys, back on that new shit. Dope like 8 balls, you don't shoot pool with. Flow wet like I threw it in the pool with. No life jacket, still floating on some cool shit.
Late night outside where the G's be pitching.